everybody, this is our blog for EDUC 639. It was talking about theories this week. So being an engineer, we always think of theories as experiments that we do over and over again, and then when it's tried and it's success, then it becomes a principle, and then after that it becomes a law. Well, we don't have laws of education, we have theories. So theories are the guide and practice of research on distance education. So traditionally, theories of distance education have been derived from classical European or American models based on the study that you're doing. So I was reading an article, and Keegan had suggested that the theoretician had to answer 3 questions before developing a theory of distance education. Is distance education an educational activity? Is distance education a form of conventional education? And is distance education possible, or is it a contradiction of terms? So as I was reading, I went through the American Theory of Independent Study. And a professor from the University of Wisconsin called Wedemeyer had considered the independence of his students and the whole essence of distance education. He reflected on the term of independent study, and he was critical of contemporary patterns of higher education, believing that outdated concepts of learning and teaching were being employed. And he thought that the concepts failed to bring in modern technologies, and that he could alter an institution by doing this. So Wedemeyer noted 4 common elements of every teaching and learning situation: a teacher, the learners, a communication system, or something to be taught or learned. Now this is in any educational field, so you got to think about your own classroom. Who's the teacher, who the learners, what are you doing, and how are you going to send it to the students? So this is not new, but he wants to do this on distance education. So he approached this and proposed a separation of teaching from learning as a way to break the education's space-time barrier. He had suggested 6 characteristics of independent study. The student and teacher are separate. The normal process of teaching and learning are carried out in writing or through some other medium. Teaching is individualized. Learning takes place through the student's activity. Learning is made convenient for a student in the student's own environment. And the learner takes responsibility for the pace of learning with freedom to start and stop at any time. Now, Keegan wrote this in 1986. So since then, we know that we've made some huge bounds and leaps in the form of distance education, especially online education. We know that as students, we start and stop when we want to. We can do this early in the morning, late in the evening, it doesn't matter. So I thought this theory was really important in the fact that this is probably one of the starts of satellite learning and online education. And did it change my view? No, I think this is one of maybe the principles or laws of distance education, not so much a theory, because I think that it has been proven time and time again to work. And then how did this framework or theory be used in research you plan to complete in the future? I think this is great as setting up the 4 basic things of education: the teacher, the learner, the communication system, and how is something taught or learned. If we keep this in mind, these 4 basic steps, then I think that we can develop curricula, develop an instructional model, and have collaboration between administration and our other parents, students, and teachers to set up an online learning environment. So that was the blog for the week.